Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another hot take review with John Lay. Today's review is on BrainStorm Learning Management System, though it's not really a learning management system. Maybe the BrainStorm learning solution designed to drive software adoption is probably a better name for it. I really like these guys because they come at this problem differently than other organizations in the customer education space. They really have two target markets. I'll tell you what I mean. They have two target markets. Number one, their core ICP is software organizations, from large to medium sized software organizations that basically have organizational customers. And so that could be anything from Adobe to Box to any of the CRMs, you name it. So they want to create learning content for these organizations for their customers. And so they have the ability to spin up organizational specific portals and populate that with content from the organization, from based on what they purchased. So that's cool. That sounds a lot like a lot of customer ed organizations, except that they don't set up a centralized university where everybody goes, but rather it's kind of like a specialized university for each individual client. Then the next thing that client can do, so say you're the client of Adobe and you have your portal there that has all the information for all your users to learn. BrainStorm then has libraries of content for other software organizations that you can then add to that portal. So maybe you want to have, 10 or however many different software applications that you're using all be in the same portal. Why would you want to do this? Well, you're just reducing the number of places that you have to send your learners. So the more and more software that you standardized on your BrainStorm portal that came with one software application that can be extended to 10, it allows you to really get some economies of scale. It makes it easier for users. And most importantly, it allows you to really leverage their unique tools. And what are these unique tools? So that's one way you could be a customer. There's the other one is you could have, just any organization that wants to improve their software adoption can go directly to them. And then in the same concept, you get that same portal, and then you can populate that with all the available learning packs that are available for these different software organizations. And sometimes BrainStorm makes those learning packs, and sometimes the customer can make them and put them in so that other organizations can use it. So it creates this nice little ecosystem. So what are some key differentiators? Well, one of those is custom portals, the ability to start centralizing your main software applications into one educational portal. That's not your own corporate LMS because that's too difficult. And, you got to manage all that and put all the pieces up there. So this is an easier route. But what they've done is they've kind of shunned the normal SCORM and AICC and XAPI approach to content and have really just completely made it different. It's like these different learning little flows or paths that you can do. They're super adaptive based on asking a question and something will change. And so you can build out these big branching scenarios that can change based on the user. And it's basically all about how to use software and use the application and not about having a SCORM course. And then in between these flows, what they did is they not integrated, it's their product, but it's like a CRM in the sense that you can send a email message, with this frequency, kind of like another LMS, except that it's very specific and it's coming from somebody from that organization so that they can improve it. And it's based on what they did, and it's super personalized, and based on how they answer, whether they click on it, whether they ignore it, whether they respond to it, all can drive different activities. And so it's almost like bringing MailChimp and HubSpot and an LMS together with content in their learning flows. And so here's where it really gets cool, if that's not cool enough. They're one of the few organizations, if not the only organization I've seen here recently to this level, that takes the data from the user in the software, what they're actually doing, and BrainStorm can monitor that and say, you're using this feature. Let's serve you up this next because that's the next adjacent thing. Or you're using this and we notice that you're doing X, Y, or Z wrong or incomplete every time. Let me proactively create a training path for you and have you assign that to you. So actions in the software are driving training actions. And then the coolest part is they can measure this. than on the other side. So they can say, okay, learners who have taken this and have not taken this, like we talk about on Talented Learning all the time, perform differently, and then turn that into actual sales and revenue. And so they're taking the actions a user makes, any type of user in software, and can tie that all the way back to making money and to revenue, and showing the value of training. And that, my friends, is really, really cool and what customer education is all about. And that's BrainStorm. We'll see you on the next Hot Take. Find more of our fiercely independent information at talentedlearning.com.